Noticeable physical changes in someone you love over the past year, changes you couldn't quite explain. Many people believe that death in old age comes suddenly, but in reality, the body often gives quiet warnings, sometimes months, even a year in advance. The problem is that these signs usually appear small and insignificant. People only realize their meaning after losing someone, when they look back and see that these moments had already happened. But by then, it is too late to prepare or to fully cherish the remaining time. That is why I wanted to prepare this video for you. In today's discussion, we will talk about 5 common signs often seen in elderly individuals during the year before passing away. You may have noticed some of them before, but assumed they were just a natural part of aging. Yet, most of the time, these changes indicate that the body is slowly entering its final chapter. Recognizing these signs early allows you to spend better, more meaningful time with your mother, father, or a loved one, and to care for them more gently during their final days. Without further delay, let's begin. Unintentional weight loss. For many people, the first noticeable change is weight loss. Sometimes you realize the belt has suddenly become loose. A shirt that once fit perfectly now slips off the shoulders. Perhaps more food is left on the plate than before. At first, it's easy to think they've lost their appetite. It's hot weather, just old age, but without realizing it, the body is trying to say something much deeper. Unintentional weight loss is often a silent warning from the body. Digestion no longer works the way it used to. The intestines slow down, muscles weaken, metabolism seems to shift into a state of rest. Even if the person eats, their body can no longer use nutrients efficiently. A bowl of soup or a slice of bread no longer provides the same energy. Sometimes, chronic illnesses lie beneath this change: heart failure, kidney disease, lung conditions, or cancer. But it is not always purely physical. For some, the cause is emotional or cognitive. Depression, loneliness, or memory loss may lead them to forget to eat or simply lose interest in food altogether. This stage is confusing for families. The worry of they're not eating enough awakens a natural protective instinct. We want to give them strength, to pull them back into life. Yet sometimes, no matter how hard we try, the weight continues to drop. That is when we must understand. This is no longer just a nutrition problem. The body is slowly preparing itself for a different rhythm at this point. The goal is not to regain lost weight, but to preserve comfort and quality of life. Instead of forcing large meals, small portions that bring joy are far more beneficial. A favorite dessert, a soup from childhood, a sip of warm milk. These nourish not just the body, but the soul. Adequate hydration also supports the systems that are still functioning. A sip of water, a spoonful of fruit puree. Each is a quiet way of honoring the body's effort to continue. Remember, during this time, the body speaks through signs. Weight loss is its way of saying, I am slowing down. Understanding this message in time makes the journey for both you and your loved one calmer, more conscious, and more compassionate. Because sometimes, it isn't a spoonful of food, but a smile that nourishes the most. Persistent fatigue and weakness. Another common change is a deep exhaustion that does not improve with rest. This is not ordinary tiredness. It is a weariness that makes even the simplest tasks difficult. A quiet signal that the body is slowly running out of strength. Someone who once woke up early, made their own coffee, and handled daily chores may now struggle just to get out of bed. Getting dressed, bathing, or even a short conversation can feel overwhelming. Every movement seems to meet resistance. This is often dismissed as old age fatigue, but in truth, it is the body trying to conserve energy. The heart can no longer pump as efficiently. Blood flow slows. Muscles receive less oxygen. The body begins allocating its remaining energy only to the most vital systems. As a result, the person feels the need to rest constantly. Frequent naps, dozing off on the couch, long periods of silence become common. Sometimes there are brief bursts of energy. They talk, share a memory, seem alert only to quickly fall back into exhaustion. These fluctuations confuse families. They were fine just a moment ago, why so tired now? But this is the body's natural rhythm at this stage. Perhaps the hardest part is that this fatigue is not only physical, it is emotional. For someone who has always been independent, needing help can feel humiliating. Dropping a glass, struggling with buttons, these moments can cut deeply. They may withdraw, feel ashamed, or believe they are a burden. This is not unwillingness. It is the result of both body and mind being tired at the same time. The greatest gift during this period is respect for their limits, letting them rest when they need to, staying quietly beside them when words feel too heavy. Soft lighting, a familiar blanket, holding their hand and breathing together for a few moments. These acts offer more comfort than any treatment. What matters most now is not productivity, but feeling safe, loved, and at peace. Fatigue is the body's whisper, I need to rest. And sometimes, the deepest love is simply allowing that rest. Mental confusion and quiet withdrawals. The change begins not in the body but in the mind. Someone once known for sharp memory and clarity may begin forgetting small things. They struggle to find words, lose track of conversations, or even feel disoriented in familiar places. At first, it's easy to blame tiredness or age, but this is more than ordinary forgetfulness. As oxygen and nutrients to the brain decrease, cognitive functions begin to slow, like a candle flickering near the end. The mind shines brightly for brief moments, then dims again. Some days are surprisingly clear. They recall memories vividly. The next day, they may not remember those conversations at all. This unpredictability is painful for families. The familiar face remains, but something feels distant. Many individuals gradually withdraw from the outside world. Conversations become exhausting. Crowded spaces feel overwhelming. Silence becomes preferable. This is not indifference. It is the brain's reduced capacity to process stimulation. Mood changes may also appear. Some become unusually calm, almost accepting. Others grow anxious, irritable, or easily upset. This is not within their control. It is a result of a slowing brain. For families, this stage is heartbreaking. The person you love is still there, but communication feels altered here. The greatest act of love is not forcing interaction. It is presence. Holding a hand, a gentle touch. Even without words, that connection reaches them. This phase demands patience. Words fade but emotions deepen. Language may disappear, but love, warmth, and safety remain. And sometimes, in the quiet, a glance, a touch, or shared breath says everything. Frequent infections and slow-healing illnesses that once passed with a few days of rest now seem to linger for weeks. Common colds, urinary tract infections, or small wounds return again and again. This is often a sign that the immune system is slowing down. With age, the body can no longer respond as quickly as it once did. A small cut struggles to close. A minor bruise takes weeks to fade. A simple flu causes days of deep weakness. The body's defenders, white blood cells, antibodies, healing tissues are no longer as strong as before. Weakened circulation adds to this burden. Blood no longer flows as efficiently. Less oxygen reaches the tissues. The body's ability to repair itself quietly diminishes. Wounds that once healed in days now close slowly, patiently, as if the body itself is asking for time. In some people, even fever no longer appears. The immune system is too tired to sound the alarm. Instead, illness shows itself quietly. Fatigue, confusion, loss of interest, a desire to sleep more than usual. For families, this phase is especially difficult. Each new infection brings renewed hope. Another antibiotic, another 4. If they rest enough, they'll recover. But sometimes, these efforts can no longer change the body's direction, because the body has stopped fighting and begun preparing for peace. At that point, the most valuable choice is comfort, a clean environment, soft sheets, keeping the skin and lips moist, encouraging gentle hydration. These small comforts often bring more relief than aggressive medical interventions. The scent of the room, morning light through the window, the calm voices of loved ones. These are the languages the body still understands. Because at this stage, healing may no longer mean recovery. It may mean reconciliation between body and soul, and offering that reconciliation is one of the quietest, deepest forms of love. Changes in breathing and circulation as the final stage of life approaches. Many elderly individuals experience noticeable changes in breathing. Breaths that were once deep and steady become shallow or irregular. There may be brief pauses, moments when it seems the breath is stopped, followed by a slow return. This rhythm is the body's quiet expression of slowing down. Hands, feet, or ears may grow cold. The skin may appear pale or slightly bluish. This is not something to fear. The heart is redirecting its remaining energy toward vital organs. The brain and the heart itself, like a candle protecting its final flame. The body gathers its strength inward. Breathing now requires effort. Sitting up, speaking, even turning in bed can feel exhausting. Some experience a sensation of air hunger. Others become very quiet, very still. Families often feel helpless during this time. How can I help them breathe more easily? They ask. But the goal now is not to correct the breathing, it is to bring comfort. The body is following its natural rhythm. Rather than resisting it, we must gently move with it. Small actions make a meaningful difference. Supportive pillows, slightly elevating the head, keeping the air clean and gently humid, moistening the lips, offering small sips of water when possible. Sometimes these gestures provide more relief than medical interventions. If necessary, doctor-recommended oxygen or mild calming medications may help improve comfort. But what matters most is not the body's ease, it is the soul's peace. Speaking softly, holding their hand, bringing familiar music, a comforting scent, or warm, gentle light into the room. These carry more meaning than words. This is a time when breathing slows like a fading melody, when the heart begins to lean towards silence. Yet within that silence, there is often not fear but deep calm, because as the body slows, the spirit finds rest. And in those final breaths, the most precious gift is not treatment but love offered in peace. Final words: the 5 signs we discussed today: weight loss, fatigue, mental confusion, frequent infections, and changes in breathing and circulation are often indicators that someone may be approaching the final year of life. They do not appear all at once, but when you notice them, know that the body is trying to speak. These signs are not meant to frighten you. They are meant to prepare you. They allow you to support your loved one more gently and fill the remaining time with peace and care. Sometimes, the most beautiful thing we can do is not to change the moment, but to fully accept it. Stay close. Listen to their stories. Hold their hands. Because in the end, what remains most valuable are those quiet, meaningful moments shared together. You are not alone in this journey. Many families have walked this path, and love has always been the strongest medicine. We would love to hear from you and learn how you and your health are doing. Please share your thoughts in the comments. We truly look forward to reading them. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue sharing information and contributing meaningfully to your life. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.